Hey everybody, I'm Joe Killinger. I'm a real estate investor and entrepreneur, and we put these videos together every week to give you all the tips and insights from my experience over the last several years. So make sure you tune in and subscribe. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. I have a very special guest today. As a lot of you know, I really believe in design. So I reached out to a friend of mine, Arlynn, and she's with AVR Design in downtown Los Angeles. And Arlynn, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, design, I believe, is a very key aspect of being a great investor.
Yes.
I think, you spend all this money to draw people in, and then you get in and you see this floral couch in the corner, you see an old desk, just a complete turnoff.
Yes.
So
I've seen it happen.
yeah, I still do. And that's the thing. So I think as in future investors or beginning investors, have to really understand that design is a very key aspect to what you're doing, be it in multifamily, office, any of it. So I think I better start with Arlynn. Why don't you tell us a little about your background and your company?
So I have been in the industry for 15 years as an interior designer. I started out in the film industry as a set designer and realized that I didn't like that, but I liked the design part of it. So I geared toward that. And the bulk of my work and my experience is in multifamily, luxury, residential, and commercial work, also office and retail. And my services are all the way from concept and schematic through CA through CA to help make sure the project gets built out completely and the design gets carried through all the way to the decor. So I'll do the installs myself and do whatever I need to do to have the project look perfect at the end of the day and deliver a full package to the client.
And you are multifamily and office. That's your specialty.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, very good.
And retail also, retail spaces.
Oh, you do some retail. Okay.
Yeah.
Very key. I'm addicted to this show, The Profit. Have you ever seen that? It's on
Yes.
CNBC.
Yes.
I'm addicted to that show. And he was doing a retail, actually a swimwear designer. And they went to one of these big trade shows. And just the design of their kiosks that they had, I mean, there was a before and after. And there was one, in the beginning, it was just a terrible little, they had their product there. It looked nice and clean and all, but they come in, bright lights, the furniture match, all the branding was there. It just really made you want to buy from that individual. So
Yeah.
design can really drive business. So,
It does.
now, I think a lot of people really think that, to have a designer like you come in and really do it up right, is it crazy expensive?
No, it doesn't have to be. It's all about the scope and what you want to do with the project.
Right.
Obviously, if you're going for something very high-end or luxurious, where you're going to use marbles and designer furniture, it does get expensive, but a lot of those looks can be achieved in other ways. You'd be amazed at what paint can do.
Yeah.
It's such a
the
human
right color
instinct.
of paint.
Yeah. Psychologically for people, bright colors, lighting placed in the right locations, multiple sources of light, and the temperature of the lighting makes a big difference. So there's a lot of tricks that you could do and still have a successful design without, giving away your firstborn.
Yeah. We just did a property, we own some property in Texas, and that we're redoing right now. And we just added a different color paint that was a little more upgraded because everybody in this area uses a lot of the off-white, beige. We went in with a really pretty gray and great flooring at a reasonable price. And then we just did the door jambs, and there's some bookcases in a really high gloss white, and it leased out for much more than we were expecting.
Yeah.
And the finishes, like the ceiling fan was brushed, aluminum looking, and it was not that much more expensive.
Right.
So, yeah, because I think a lot of people think, if I'm going to really upgrade this unit, I have to spend a ton of money, and that's not the case. You can be a smart shopper and go out and find something that really could really enhance your offering. So really take a look at that. Are you focused just in Los Angeles right now?
Los Angeles, Orange County, and all the way to Palm Springs, Coachella Valley area.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're pretty spread out.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Now, how big of a team? Now, if I'm I'm trying to figure out is how big of a team do you think I have to? If I'm a developer and I'm going to be developing a product, obviously you have to have your contractor, your architect. Don't you think the designer is just as key as any of those people?
Oh, yes. Yes, for sure. And I've noticed that the contractors and the architects don't want to do the interior design work.
I can't imagine why.
It's tedious.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is, for sure. And if it's not your expertise, it could be a lot more work than it has to be.
Well, you could
So-
miss the mark completely. I mean,
Yeah.
if this isn't what you do every day, I mean, you're not going to go be a contractor. You're
Yeah.
not going to know how to build something. So, I mean, that's not what you focus on. So, really bring in somebody that can focus on what you need as an end result. So, and part of that should be a designer. So, current trends. What do you see? What are the current trends right now?
Current trends, especially in Los Angeles, because we have such a need for housing, is developments that have amenities that particularly millennials would love. And not just millennials, I mean, they're the target market, but really a pool, pet-friendly space outside, and units that are pet-friendly, bike amenities for
Right.
people that want to be active. Also, being near public transportation is a big key as the city grows and we develop our rail system a little bit more. That's where I see developers heading. Is where's the next station going to be built? Things
Right.
like that.
Yeah, I see in Globe Street, it's a commercial real estate publication, and almost every week there's an article about amenities for multifamily. It seems like nobody really has that wired yet. It
Yeah.
seems like they're always coming up with community work areas and
Yeah.
child care being offered on site, and the dog walks and all that. Now, what do you see? Okay, that's current trends. Let's talk about future trends. Where do you see 3, 4, or 5 years down the road? Or you guys probably forecast that far out,
Yeah.
or no? Okay.
And we try to, but
Yeah.
it is difficult because you obviously can't predict the market.
Right.
But we try to select finishes and looks that are timeless so that the hard finishes can be flexible and you could do multiple styles in them if you need to refresh, which gives the building longevity. And I also see the trend to try to build to the public transportation side of things not stopping. I think that's going to continue. And I also see the trend going to smaller units. As the buildings get denser, I
Yeah.
think the units may get smaller also for people that are, professionals that don't spend a lot of time at home. Sometimes the amenities are more important than the actual unit.
Right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to kind of throw you under the bus here a little bit. So I've got a middle-income apartment in downtown LA. It's just a vanilla shell. What would you do with it right now? What kind of color scheme, I mean?
The warm grays are very flexible, taupes.
Okay.
Nothing that's too cool. And I think there's a lot of porcelains that emulate real stone very well.
Okay.
And that always looks a lot more expensive than it actually is.
Yeah.
And I know this is one unit, but if you have multiple units, you can obviously yield more if you buy more quantity.
Right.
So depending on how many units there is, also try to do a mosaic backsplash or something like that that complements the stone.
Right.
And obviously nothing less than a Caesar stone countertop or like, things like that.
Okay. See, now that kind of information is why you subscribe to this channel right there. Arlynn, thank you very much for coming in today. I hope that will help a lot of you as you become a real estate investor. If you want to get hold of Arlynn, I will put her contact information down below, or you can reach out to me and I will put you in direct contact with her. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week.